tongue down. Happy Monday! I hope you had a great weekend. I did, after I cleared up the misunderstanding with the park police. Damn, when did restroom custodians start working undercover? So it appears that the Mexican government is using video of homeless people and open-air drug users from Philadelphia in a national ad campaign to try to scare young people away from drugs. Take a look at this, if you will.
El fentanilo te engancha desde la primera vez. Esclaviza tu mente y tu cuerpo. No destruyas tu vida. El fentanilo mata. No te arriesgues. No vale la pena.
They don't speak English? That's right, a third world country taking shots at a failed Democrat-run city. It's no fair. That's our job. Anyway, some felt this denigrated Philly's image, which I don't understand. What depicts brotherly love better than two guys sharing a dirty needle? Fact is, the only city worse off than Philly is Pompeii, and they had an excuse. Although it's been a few thousand years. I mean, one volcano erupts and they call it a day. Not even bothering to build it back up. Come on, Pompeii, grow a pair. Anyway. People objected to the addicts and degenerates being filmed without their consent. That was another problem. And I'm not just talking about my live studio audience. Yeah. I was just checking if you're awake. But these scenes were filmed in public, unlike those videos Kilmeade shows me from the locker room at the YMCA. Got a shampoo bottle with a hole in it. It's amazing. But face it, it's hard to give consent when your pants are down on the sidewalk trying to dislodge that last rock of crack from your butt like it's a gumball from the machine. Honestly, you want that guy to sign a waiver? You'll need a pair of salad tongs to retrieve your pen. But obviously, Mexico is the big source of fentanyl that's killed hundreds of thousands of Americans. It's made overdose the #1 cause of accidental death, outside of being on the set of an Alec Baldwin Western. And so Mexico tells their people, do not be like our customers. It's like Ronald McDonald telling Ronald Jr. to lay off the Big Macs. Or me saying, don't watch this show, the sheer brilliance could destroy your mind. But it is probably the best advice you can give. Don't get high on your own supply. It's the favorite advice of corner drug dealers and the hobby shop where I buy my glue. But it's also saying, stay away from Philly. Yeah, it's sad. We have reached a point where we are now the travel hazard, not the other countries.
Oh, hello, folks. What can I do for you?
We're being spontaneous, just kind of want to take a trip somewhere. Where's the next flight out?
Well, let's see what we have. It is very last minute. Looks like all I've got left is Philadelphia and Fallujah.
Ooh, you know, that is right down the middle for me.
Same. Do you have a recommendation?
Well, they're basically the same, frankly. Although I hear Iraq is really nice this time of year.
Okay. Fallujah, here we come.
Great. Okay, here's your tickets. And here is your body armor. Although, wait, I'm sorry, that's for Philadelphia.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Enjoy your flight.
Can't wait to see Iraq.
Here comes
Now, we can laugh at this, but who's got a better policy, Mexico or us? In New York yesterday, a guy was arrested with 20,000 fentanyl pills, enough to kill more than a few people, or give Hunter Biden a mild headache. Now, the guy was charged with criminal possession, then released on his own recognizance. Released on his own recognizance. Like, what do they think he's going to do next? Return to his job in finance? Get back to his squash lessons? Released on his own recognizance. Yeah, I bet he's now currently at an orphanage reading bedtime stories. Definitely not heading back to score more drug supply. But he's not just a drug dealer, he's a serial killer. But it's on us for making him necessary. If we lived in a society that availed safer options, you wouldn't have people dying from lethal stuff on the street. The problem with society, we made low-grade addiction incompatible with being a working stiff. Unless, of course, it was alcohol or tobacco, then it was booze and smoke yourself to death. It's far from perfect, but still, Kat comes into work several times a week.
How are you still laughing at that?
But we don't do that with opiates. Instead, what do? We punish the legal patient and let the illegal stuff flow. And what does that sound like? Gun control. Targeting the law-abiding and letting the lawbreakers go free. And you know how well that works. In settings where substances are illegal, the casualties are mainly the young because they take the risks. 100 years ago, they boozed from a bathtub, and sometimes they died. By the way, the same thing would happen if you drank from my bathtub today. I haven't cleaned it since my first episode of Red Eye. Some sentimental value in there, Morgan. But the same thing happens with fentanyl. Did you ever wonder who's dying? You know, I knew a few. None were homeless, all had jobs. That's because our drug policy has made recreational drug use worse than Russian roulette. Maybe we should call it China roulette, since it's yet another thing coming from the Red Dragon that is frying brains and destroying lives. But enough about TikTok. But seriously, there is little, if any, data on who's dying, and that's weird. It's almost like they're saying, who cares? So when you see that video of the Philly zombies, how many do you think are still alive? Curiously, there's also no data on COVID deaths in that cohort either. I mean, my God, what if homelessness is a healthier lifestyle than we think? You know, maybe pooping in broad daylight is a better source of vitamin D. Maybe I should start pooping outdoors. Start. Let's welcome tonight's guest. She's as hot as gravy and still serves in the Navy. Former State Department spokeswoman and founder of Polaris National Security, Morgan Ortagus. He's the war vet who looks good wet. Host of Can't Cancel, Rob Smith. Rob Smith. When he heard men could get pregnant, he went on maternity leave. Writer and comedian Joe Mackey. And finally, she's got a case of the Mondays and Ebola. Fox News contributor Kat Tipp. Joe, welcome back. It's been a long time. I can't even tell you had the surgery.
Hardy har, Greg. Hardy har. It's great to be back. I'm a little behind on the news, though. Whatever happened with that CNN Plus?
Yeah, that went away. A lot of things went away while you were gone, Joe. But you came back.
I'm just happy to be here with these great studio audience, Greg.
Well, I brought you back here so I could tell you to leave. Get the hell out of here. No. When other countries start using America as a cautionary tale, that is quite a message.
It's bad, Greg, but it's also interesting that instead of saying, hey, maybe some of the criticism is justified, they make it seem like the drug addicts are victims because they were filmed in public. Like the drug abusers are victims, not the kids who are walking over the syringes or the comedians that have to hear their techno music.
Yes. They play techno music?
They do. I think I might have said Tecmo music. But I can't have that one back.
No, you can't, Joe. No, you can't. But that's a good point. It's like we
shaking off the rust.
Do you have anything else you would like to add, Joe?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's very interesting. Philadelphia almost acted like a drug addict. When you call them on the problem, they threw it back at you. Like when people say, Joe, you're addicted to snacking. And I'm like, well, your girlfriend left you for a carnival, Carl.
A carnival Carl?
His name was Carl.
I don't know anymore, Morgan. Welcome.
Thank you.
Once again, you just outdress everybody.
I try.
I mean, you have like stuff going on. and I go against everything HR says, and I do comment on what people wear at work. Almost to a fault, just to test it, just to see what I can get away with. Why is this not a national security issue?
It is. I think it's the most pressing national security issue. When you said you have other nations criticizing the U.S., not just other nations, you have a narco state that is telling Philadelphia you have a drug problem. That's kind of bad.
That's when the dealer's saying, hey, pull back on the heroin.
But, like, why didn't Biden met with Xi Jinping, the leader of China today, the leader of the Chinese Communist Party? The chemical precursors for fentanyl come from China. Then they go to Mexico, and they're made there, trafficked over the border. And it's the #1 killer of young people in our country. Why wasn't that brought up today? It's pretty simple, but climate change is clearly more important than even getting a statistic, as you said, on how many people are actually dying from this in their profile.
Yeah, you have no idea except that it's doubled.
Right.
That it's doubled. And they used to just say overdoses. So you'd assume, okay, what is it? Is it Xanax? Is it cocaine? Is it? No, it's always been fentanyl mixed with caffeine and another drug that's like a horse tranquilizer. I read a lot of it, and frankly, I don't think I got any smarter, Rob.
Yeah. That makes two of us.
Yes. What do you make of this? What should Biden have done?
I don't know. So Biden should have probably had a spine, but that would be expecting too much almost 2 years into this presidency. I think that when I looked, first of all, when we saw that commercial, that party looked incredible. Like, I wanted to go to that party.
Rob, you were so decadent.
No, it's more than you know. But it's very interesting that they had to, like, outsource the footage of the drug addicts on the street because everybody knows that Mexico is sin drogas. Right? That means no drugs. It means without drugs. I'm bilingual. But I was wondering, is there some sort of like weird failed Democrat city Getty images where they just like find videos of like hookers turning tricks outside of McDonald's or people shooting up outside of preschools? Like, is that where they found this footage from?
No, that's I've seen that video a lot. It's like usually it's video where everybody's faces are blurred. It's like the blurry people. But I've seen that one, and it's been around. It's in slow motion. It's incredibly. It doesn't look like America. It doesn't look like anything.
And what I will say is that I've been to both Iraq and Philadelphia, and I think I prefer Iraq.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
We have some people. Anybody here from Philly? Yeah. They never got out, Kat.
But I root for the Eagles.
Never got out. So sad. What do you make of this? By the way, what do you make of the? You're for legalization. Should that dude with 20,000 pills be just let go?
Well, I don't believe that like drug crimes are crimes, but I don't think that the pill, like you should be able to buy pills where you know there's no fentanyl in it.
Of course.
Because like all those people out on the street, they might be doing fentanyl on purpose, but it's not like someone, like one of the youths, right? The youth is going to see that video and be like, oh, well, I guess I won't go to that fentanyl party after school.
Yeah.
Nobody's doing it on purpose unless they're really, really down bad.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's obviously released on his own recognizance. You're not, as you pointed out, you're not somebody, if you're doing that, who has like a real life job.
20,000 pills.
It's a lot. And it's probably not people saying, I'd like to buy some fentanyl, please.
No,
They're
exactly.
probably
Nobody does that. It's like they think that they're getting something else
it's
and
in
then
everything.
they die.
Putting it in cocaine, putting it in like ecstasy pills. Like, some kids might want to do like party drugs and then they die.
Yeah, that's the point. I think that's why they don't have the right numbers. But it's just amazing how we don't care, or our government doesn't care. But I care because that's the kind of person I am. A liar.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.